Hello there. Today, I'm going to be working on a project. I'm going to be making a gift for a family member. So, as you can see, we have a fireplace. And we like to have fires. And I got this a long time ago at I want to say yard sale or something. It is a fire bellows. And it is old. And we left it outside in the rain. And the plywood started falling apart, and so I want to refurbish it, make it like it. So I got some oak wood, some leather, some pins, some glue, and we're gonna make it look like new. So first things first, I took a whole bunch of pictures so I know how it goes back together. Now I have to take it completely apart so I know the dimensions and everything and how it goes together. I have a general idea of how it goes together. So basically, you have the two pieces of wood and they are hinged together with leather. The bellows is the bladder in the center here, and as you pull it apart, it sucks air in through this bottom hole, and then when you squeeze it together, it pushes it out the front onto the fire and helps to ignite whatever is having extra oxygen blown at it. So let's get to disassembling. I'm going to try to reuse this because it's still good. It's just copper. It's just the wood parts and the old leather parts that I wanted to replace. So, see you out in the workshop. So, by shop, I simply meant my garage, and we're on a piece of plywood on some tall horses. But as I was shopping for wood, I came across the dilemma of the bellows that I currently have are about like a half an inch wider than the wood that they had available. So I'm going to have to make the bellows a little bit thinner, which means I'll have to address that with the leather as well. So you can't really see it, but I traced the outline of one of the halves, and so if you fold the sheet of paper in half, you can make a mirror image, which they did not do. The handles are slightly different on both of them, actually. So I'm going to make a stencil and then trim it down until I like the way it looks, and I'll see you then when I can trace it onto the wood. Alright, so I trimmed down my original size and didn't like the shape of it, so I came to another iteration, which is the one on the right, and I have traced it out, and now I gotta cut it out. So I gotta get a jigsaw. Not a jigsaw. It is a jigsaw. I have my jigsaw that I'm gonna use. I wish I had a bandsaw. That would be so much nicer and easier, but I do not. So I'm going to be using a jigsaw. So I wish I had a bandsaw, but I don't. I have my jigsaw. We're gonna use that. And just a reminder, always wear your safety equipment. I have my eye protection and hearing protection. So I'm gonna cut out most of what I need to cut out, and then probably sand it down or grind it down just to get it to where it needs to be. So I will see you when it's all cut up. In this episode of Just My Luck, the part that attaches the blade hauling mechanism to the jigsaw broke off. So, broke that. I'll have to get a pin to fix that. But I ended up buying a small bench top bandsaw, which was what I really needed in the first place. So we'll be good to go with that. So, turning tragedy into a victory. We'll be getting her done with this. Alright, I have my 3 parts cut out. Now I just gotta sand them and stain them. And then we'll be good to go. And they're pretty close to matching. So that's good to know. So, I guess we get to sanding now. Gotta unplug the tool before you move it, just so you have no chance of getting hurt from said tool. And then re-situate you guys so you can see what I'm working on, which will be right there. And I'm gonna rotate you over to this side. There we go. I lied. I wanted to use the other setting, the aperture, not the frame rate. Make sure you turn your tools off before you use them. Otherwise, that'll happen where it's on when you plug it in. So that's never good. So, I gotta sand everything on this. Alright, I'm going to keep working on this until I feel it's nice enough, and then do a couple more, another round with some higher grit. And I'll see you when we're done sanding. So I have sanded it all down and got it where I like it. I'm going to clean it off with some acetone, not acetone, some paint thinners, mineral spirits. Get all the dust off of it. I don't know if I said it or not, but this is just some oak I got from Lowe's. Pretty nice grain. It's always nice when you can see the reveal of the grain. Even just a little bit of water would have done that, but I'm going to get the dust off. I should have another glove on, but I don't. I'll have a glove on when I do the staining. Because that gets everywhere. That's for sure. Alright. That should be good. Alrighty. Moved outside because when you're working with harsh chemicals like wood stains, you want to make sure you're in a well-ventilated space. And what's more ventilated than outside? So, I picked up a dark walnut wood stain. And it says it dries in 2 hours, and so we're gonna use this to stain our pieces. Let me grab a couple extra rags. I'll be right back. I am back. It was like 5 minutes for me, but like 2 minutes for you. So 2 minutes, 2 seconds for you. So you do not want to shake your stain because you don't want bubbles in it. It will affect the way it goes onto your piece. So you want to stir it before and occasionally during staining. Don't shake the stain. Right on the can. I'm just going to use my pink can opener because I forgot something to stir it with. But, doesn't really matter too much. It is a small can anyway, so it doesn't take too much to stir it. Ooh, that is a dark stain. It's gonna look so nice. Alright. No going back. I'm going to rub it on in the direction of the grain. Beautiful dark stain. Looking lovely. Looking lovely. And you don't want to get this on your clothes because stain obviously does what it's named after. It stains things, so avoid getting it on your clothes. Otherwise, you're going to look like it. As much as it looks great on wood, you don't want it on yourself. Again, it is a harsh chemical, and you want to be cognizant of all of the safety instructions that are associated with whatever chemicals you're using. Alright, so I'm going to set this right here. I'm going to wipe this one down with an extra rag. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful! So I apologize for any noise in the background. When you're outside, you don't have much control over the noisescape, soundscape. So I might let that dry a bit and then hit it again with the stain. It's looking beautiful. Stain completely changes the look of your piece. So we have that coming from that. That brings out the beautiful grain in your piece as well. I tend to like a darker stain, but choose whatever you like. Whatever suits your palate. I really want to get it in those cracks. Really accentuate the grain. Oh, I am putting quite a bit on there now. I'm really working it in. I love when the leaves go across the ground and you think it's some animal skittering along. It's just a leaf. Nothing to be alarmed about. Let's hit this one again and then we'll wipe it down with the extra rag. Really working in there. So there's going to be a dark brown with dark brown leather and some black hardware. This is going to go really well with that leather. Beautiful, I tell you. Absolutely beautiful. What am I doing? I was not going with the grain. Whoops. There's some interesting marking on this. That's what you get with wood. Every piece is different. You can use the same exact wood, same exact stain, but every piece will be different. Every piece is a one of one when it comes to woodworking. Alright, I got a question for you guys. You can answer down in the comments below. Even though I am using hand tools, or power tools, would you consider this handmade? Because I had that question pop up while I was working on the bandsaw. So, sure, you could make this with hand tools. It would take quite a bit longer and you might get more satisfaction out of it at the end, knowing how much work and effort you put into it. But would you still consider this handmade, even though I use power tools? Because I kind of consider handmade anything you make by hand. Like, this is one of one. I will not be able to make it exactly like this again. As opposed to, say, a giant workshop giant factory that's pumping these out and using a CNC machine and cutting them all out exactly the same. Is that where it becomes no longer handmade? That is my question to you guys. So if you could answer that down in the comments below, I'd greatly appreciate it. And with that, you also want to make sure that your rags are not balled up and dry before you throw them away, because they can combust. And you do not want that. You can look it up on YouTube. You just throw a whole bunch of stain rags in the back of your truck, and then they just combust as you're driving home, or it's parked out outside your house. So be careful when you're working with any wood stains, because it is very dangerous. So this piece I do not have to stain because it will be covered by the leather, so I'm just going to save myself a little bit of stain. It's not much, but hey, you're not going to see it, never going to see it. So I don't know why I just went and closed that all up. I do have a little bit. I'll probably do like half of the bottom, because this will be covered by the leather as well. It'll be on the inside, but so I don't know why I covered that up. I can do that now. So let's do that. So I'll pick it up, and then we'll set that like that, so we can set that like that. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. I have to do like half of the backside, because, like I said, the bottom half is going to be covered by the leather. Right about there, down. Will be the inside of the bellows mechanism. So, stain this half nicely, and we'll set it up to dry overnight. I'll with some polyurethane, and then it'll be good to go. Alright, so that one's looking good. We'll put that up more like that. And then we'll get this side all good as well. This is what I mean by you will stain anything that goes on. You saw the white t-shirt when I started working. It is no longer white. It's a very dark brownish black. It is very satisfying, that's for sure. Another thing that made me think of the, is it still considered handmade, was when I was looking at quick reviews of the cheap bandsaws at Lowe's. I got my Facebook Marketplace, just picked up a cheap one that was in the area. But when I was looking at the reviews of the cheapest one at Lowe's on the Harbor Freight, the guy was like, yeah, why can't you just do that by hand? Why do you have to use a bandsaw? And I was like, sure you can use it by hand, but it's definitely a lot easier to use a bandsaw. Especially if you have a time crunch, or, yeah, especially if you have a time crunch, you know, have the time to dedicate to using those hand tools. Or you just want to a little bit. But some of those really good hand tools are very expensive, so I understand going for power tool that you can use for a lot of things rather than one very expensive, very specialized hand tool. Because, whew, I picked some expensive hobbies, I can tell you that much. Alright, while I'm dry. And then I'm going to hit them with polyurethane. See what I want. See when I have polyurethane. I realized something as I was coating my piece in polyurethane that I forgot I wasn't done working on the wood and I started finishing it. So luckily it turned out just fine, but I forgot I had to make a hole here, and then this will be internal, so it doesn't matter how it looks either. But I used a Forstner bit and made that hole and touched it up with some more stain, so that'll be fine. And this is actually the air channel for when you're fanning the flame with the bellows, and I forgot that I needed that too. Alrighty, so cut another piece of rag so I can do another coat of polyurethane on the top half, and the first coat on the bottom half. So this is another one where you just want to go with the grain and fill it in. Now with the polyurethane, you also want to make sure there's no bubbles, because if there are bubbles, they will dry and harden as those bubbles. So you absolutely could just leave it as a stained piece. However, that will be susceptible to the elements and more susceptible to scratching and just marring of the wood, anything like that. So if you would like your pieces to last, you want to at least coat them with some polyurethane or some seal to help give the wood a fighting chance against the elements. Set up a little stand that I can set these on some little nails that are stuck in the wood, and I don't have to worry about the polyurethane drying it onto the little stand, which would be bad. You want to do a nice even coat out to that wood. That should be good. Now for this guy, I already did a coat on the bottom before realizing that I wasn't done working my piece. So here we are, day late, $1 short. Just kidding, not $1 short, but it is later than the other piece. So I'll have to do another coat on this piece. But that's okay, because I still got to figure out all of the wood. Not wood. The wood is done pretty basically. I just need to figure out the other, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. So get this in there, and all the little nooks and crannies, and have it good there. Now, you don't want to rush finishing touches, because if you rush like a paint job, you can easily ruin many hours of work because you try to rush a paint job or a stain job or anything of that nature. So take your time all the way through a project, and the results will be much more rewarding, that's for sure. Alright. I'll let this dry however long it says to on the can here, and then hit it with a second coat. And in the meantime, let's go work on some leather work for the actual bellows part of the bellows. And for now, that should be all. Let's can it up, call it good. Realized as I've been making this video, I say so way too much between takes. So, no. Off camera I did some measurements, and I measured along here and then along the edge as to how well this piece will fit, and I think it will actually fit fairly well. So I might just test fit it and see how it fits on this between the two pieces. So I think I'm going to do that. Also need that. Again, I have moved outside because I know I'm going to need a well-ventilated area for the contact cement. So for the assembly, I think I'm just gonna throw it in a time lapse and you can watch that, because a lot of it's just gonna be waiting for the glue to dry. So as I do things, I'm gonna do the time lapse. I don't know at what point my camera died, but it is finished. It does its intended function. Does it pretty well. It is not the prettiest of pieces that I've ever made, but it gets the job done. Finishing tacks are one of the worst building materials in the world. Like 90% of them bent after the second strike with the hammer, even if you tapped it lightly. If I use them again, someone please tell me how to use them correctly. Please tell me in the comments below. But other than that, it is a bit of time later, but as you can see, I think it turned out pretty darn well. It works too. So I'll show you that as well. does what it's supposed to. Thanks for watching.